we're here to recognize all of our employees that work in corrections at our adult detention center and work release and other components of corrections. There is a national week honoring corrections officers, and we also want to acknowledge our employees here in Frederick County government. The Frederick County Sheriff's Office Correction Bureau has served the population of Frederick County for over 250 years. The first jail was built in 1753, and our present facility was built in 1984. The Adult Detention Center is a full-service corrections facility offering all available alternatives to incarceration, including pretrial services, home detention, alternative sentencing, community service, and work release. So we do have other options besides incarceration. The Correction Bureau is comprised of 185 employees. That includes 125 corrections officers, 33 civilian staff, 3 county maintenance technicians, and 24 positions managed under contractual services that include funding from state and federal grants. We also have over 150 volunteers who provide a variety of services to the inmates that are in corrections. So I want to start off by reading a proclamation, and then I'll have all of the people here introduce themselves and tell us a little bit about what they do to serve the citizens of Frederick County every day. Whereas no group of Americans has a more difficult or less publicly visible job than the brave men and women who work in our correctional facilities. Correctional officers who work in jails and prisons are currently responsible for the safety, containment, and control of over 2.3 million inmates. Correctional officials must protect inmates from violence from fellow prisoners while encouraging them to develop skills and attitudes that can help them become productive members of society after their release. And whereas the general public should fully appreciate correctional officers' capable handling of the physical and emotional demands made upon them daily, their profession requires careful and constant vigilance, and the threat of violence is always present. At the same time, these dedicated employees try to improve the living conditions of those who are being confined. And whereas it is appropriate that we honor the correctional officers in all our institutions at all levels of government for their invaluable contributions to our society. Now, therefore, as the County Executive of Frederick County, Maryland, I hereby proclaim this week as Correctional Officers and Employees Week in Frederick County, and I encourage all of our citizens to thank a correctional officer for the good work that they do to serve our community. Having been to the detention center, I can say it is a job that is unseen, and we do appreciate all you do for our community. I would like you to all say a few words, so I'm going to pass the microphone and ask you to introduce yourself and say a few words about what you do.
Okay, I'm Lieutenant Colonel Victor Lauder, and I currently serve as the Corrections Bureau Chief, aka Warden. I guess that kind of speaks for itself as to what I do.
Major Dave Ward, I'm the Assistant Corrections Bureau Chief, and I oversee the 4 main divisions of the operation.
Captain Steve Snow, I'm the Director of Security at the Adult Detention Center.
Corporal Jason Bong, I am the Home Detention Supervisor.
Lieutenant Steve Jamison, Commander of Support Services.
Lieutenant Jennifer Swope, I'm the Commander of Fiscal Services.
Sergeant Lucas Petrillo, I'm a shift sergeant on the B rotation.
Lieutenant Bob Moreland, Commander of Accreditation Facility Development.
Okay, we'll start the other direction.
Melinda Grenier, I'm the Assistant Director of Community Services Division, and our division supports home detention, work release, pretrial services, and alternative sentencing.
That's a lot.
I'm Lori Frazee, and I'm the Director of Inmate Services.
Lieutenant Charles Clark, Security Operations Commander.
Sergeant David Green, Supervisor of Special Operations.
Lieutenant Mike Carnice, Commander of Special Operations.
CFC Glenn Hawkins, I'm also in Special Operations.
Corporal Chris Lawson, Transportation Supervisor.
Officer Gary P. Fish, currently assigned Transportation Unit.
Okay. Well, thank you all for being here today. Thank you for what you do to serve the citizens of the county. We appreciate it. I know many of you are longtime employees and have worked in this position for a number of years, and I think that is quite unique in the profession. It is a hard job, and I don't know that most people recognize that, but people don't think that a lot of people think that you actually are able to carry a firearm in a detention center, and of course that's not the case. So you don't have that kind of opportunity for protection. I know you do have a role of transporting people back and forth to court system, and I know that involves some special supervision and controls. And so we do know you all have a tough job, and we thank you for that every day. So with that, I think we'll take a photograph here with our proclamation, and I would encourage all the citizens of Frederick County to thank our corrections officers if you see them. I know they live here in the community, and we want to thank them for all they do. Okay. Thank you for joining us. Okay, so we're going to now do the photograph. I try to cut that off. It's all quite different. We begin, we end, we start another one.